Hello everyone, how are you today? My name is Sarah Louise Tilsley and this is Neil Cooper.
Hello everyone, welcome.
I'm going to do a process today called psychic surgery from the Egyptian Reiki Seichem system. And basically we are just going to bounce energy between the joints and see if any blockages are hampering your well-being. So Neil, would you like to get yourself comfortable?
Yep. Thanks.
Do you need a blanket or anything?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to ground and protect myself before Neil. So I'm just imagining roots growing out of my shoulders and down my body into the earth, where they root into the crystal and mineral veins. And then I'm going to imagine a ball of light, love and protection emerging from the upper levels and surrounding myself within a layer of love and light. And then I'm going to do the same for my client, who is Neil today. So I'm going to imagine roots growing out of the underneath of him, through the bed and into the ground below. Those roots grow downwards and downwards and downwards until they root into a crystal vein of amethyst for cleansing. Then again, I'm going to imagine a beautiful ball of energy emerging from the upper levels, heaven from God Himself, and encasing Neil within that layer of love and of light. Next, we are going to call in the mighty archangels Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, Sandalphon and Metatron. And we're going to ask them to surround Neil and hold the space for us today. So first of all, I'm going to place a malachite crystal onto Neil's heart chakra. Is that on your heart? Okay. And we're placing this on the heart center because we are going to lift his aura off him. So just imagine Archangel Michael standing at the head of Neil. I'm going to make my fingers into an imaginary cutting device and cut the aura. And then we're going to roll the aura up. And Neil might feel a little bit of a draft here as we remove his aura and hand it to Michael.
It's like cooler feeling.
Okay. Just let me know if anything is uncomfortable at all, Neil.
No, that's fine.
And now we're going to work up Neil's body. So I'm going to put my hands on his toes and another one on the ankle. And I'm just bouncing the energy like a ping pong ball. And that's a nice regular flow now. So I move up the body to the knee. So holding the ankle and the knee and bouncing that energy. Okay, that's bouncing nicely. So I move the hand on the ankle up to the knee and this hand up to Neil's hip joint and start bouncing that energy. That's nice and clear too. Moving that hand to the hip and then we go over the pelvis to the other hip. The energy is a little bit faint here as I bounce it. So we just clear. And at this point, I'm also going to call Saint Germain and the angels of the violet fire and the violet flame to surround Neil and myself in that transforming energy. So we can throw the stagnant heavy chi into the flame and it will just disintegrate. Balance, balance, balance. Okay, that is now bouncing between my hands at a nice regular pace. Now we go down the other leg. So keeping my hand on the hip and placing the hand on the knee. Neil, how have your legs been with all your running?
Getting strained and tired.
Yeah, I can feel they are a little bit heavy. The energy's bouncing between my hands, but I'm just going to ask it to get stronger. And then at the end we'll come back and just put a little bit more Reiki into those hips, knees and ankles. Okay, that's bouncing nicely as well. The ankles are feeling a little bit strained to me, so we'll remember that and come back to them. As we now go from ankle to toe. Okay. So now we're going to bounce the energy between the chakras. So starting at the root chakra, which is below you, where your pelvic floor is. Of course, I can't touch people there. So I place my hand between the knees, which are also governed by the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. And I place a hand just above Neil's sacral. And I'm bouncing that energy with my mind. Sometimes I move my nose. Okay. So I move this hand to the sacral and this hand up to the solar plexus. And Again, bouncing that energy. It's a little bit heavy here, so I'm just going to remove some of the stagnant energy out of the solar plexus.
Anxiety mostly.
Okay. Seichem, Seichem, Seichem. So I'm visualizing Seichem here because both of my hands are busy. So I'm visualizing that Reiki symbol in violet. Yep, that's bouncing nicely. Are you able to feel this happening within you, Neil?
Yes, immense heat. Quite cool where my aura's removed, but immense heat within me and bouncing energies going through my legs and body.
Okay. So now we move up to solar plexus and heart. Again, it's a little bit slow, bouncing between my hands. This time I'm going to draw the Seichem in. And start teasing the energy out. And I imagine Seichem being placed into these parts of the body and shattering that chi as if ice was breaking on a pond, enabling me to grip those pieces and pull them out.
Very calm.
I'm also going to use the distance healing to go back down Neil's timelines. Honcha Seichem, Honcha Seichem, Honcha Seichem. Now let's see what this energy is doing. Yep, that's sorted it out. Okay. Now we go from heart to Neil's throat. Just my positioning so that I'm nice and steady. And I find standing in a Tai Chi posture is steadying. Pull a little bit out of the throat. I don't think it's blocked, just a little bit of energy in there. And that's bouncing nicely now.
So peaceful.
So from throat to third eye. And this is a very clear channel. That energy is bouncing nicely. So from third eye to crown. Again, that's bouncing nicely. You've got some nice clear channels there, Neil. Now I'm going to go back down to the shoulders and the torso of the body. We're going to make a butterfly. So I place a hand on the shoulder, I place a hand on top. And this is to help with low moods, lethargy, maybe a little bit of depression. So I touch the other shoulder, resting my hand there for a few seconds. Then diagonally across the body to Neil's hip, setting that energy for a second or two, and over to Neil's other hip, setting that energy there. Across the solar plexus and back. Then at his heart center, I'm going to draw an infinity symbol 3 times. Setting the energy there. Now I'm just going to set some chakra rays into Neil's chakras for protection. Chakra ray can protect the whole body or the places that it is placed into. So we're protecting all of Neil's energy centers here.
Or heaviness when that goes in.
That's interesting, thank you.
The others all feel powerful. It was only the crown that felt heavy. Warmth with that one.
So I think because Neil's doing a lot of running, I'm going to hold my hands over his aura, and I'm now just going to impart refreshing Reiki. And I'm visualizing the hip joints here. I'm visualizing the muscular skeletal body as well. And I'm thinking of collagen, of elasticity, so that Neil can remain supple.
I can feel somebody putting their hands on my legs.
It will be one of the angels that are around you. I feel that it's Raphael. I'm going to place the chakra ray into these hip joints as well, as protection, but also chakra ray is that turbo boost button, isn't it? So I'm thinking of the suppleness, of the elasticity. And then I just travel down the thighs towards the knees. Again, I'm going to rest my hands here because this is not a private area. Imparting that beautiful white replenishing energy. Visualizing the knee joint. I'm just going to slip my hand under the knees to make sure I get to the back. Sorry if I tickle you. refresh, reinvigor, remain supple. And then we draw the chakra rays into the knees for protection and vitality. Sending replenishing light into the shins and the calves, still visualizing the bones, the muscles. As I now reach the ankles. Sending that replenishing light into the joints, into the cushioning between all of the joints, so that the bones don't rub on each other. And when you hold someone at the ankles, you hold all the meridians that go down the front and the back, especially if your hands are big enough to reach completely around the ankle. Mine isn't, so I project my mind to those meridians. Chakra. Is everything feeling okay, Neil, so far?
Very relaxing.
Okay. So we've come to the end of this treatment now, but what we need to do is to pull Neil's aura back down over him. So I'm going to thank Archangel Michael and take that layer of aura from him. And literally pull it down. I'm going to ask the angels to seal the aura all around Neil, and then I'm going to fluff it up, swiddling my fingers a little bit. And then take the piece of malachite to be cleansed. And I'm going to ask with Neil's pendulum, is Neil balanced now? Pendulum says yes. Do we need to do any more healing on Neil? It says no. So you can use a pendulum if you do not trust what your intuition is telling you. And I'm a bad example because I often use a pendulum. So now we just run our hands down over the aura, checking to see that we are happy as a healer with the work we have done. And I'm now going to ground Neil. I'm going to hold on to the feet because that feels nice and grounding. We're now going to thank Saint Germain and the angels of the violet fire and the violet flame. We also thank the mighty archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Sandalphon and Metatron, for holding the space for Neil's healing today. And we ask all of these angels to step back from us. I'm imagining the roots growing out of Neil's shoulders through the table and into the ground below us. We send any excess energies down to Mother Earth for her healing. And I'm now going to pull a navy blue sleeping bag over Neil so that he can drive if he needs to straight after a treatment, and that his reactions will be quick for whatever he needs to do. Neil, take a breath in and release. Peace above you, peace below you, and peace all around you. So thank you, Neil, for letting me demonstrate this. And thank you, viewers, for watching.
That was lovely. Thank you. I could feel it all.
Great. Just lie there, and when you're ready, get up. Don't rush. And I will get you a drink.
Lovely.
Here you go. We always give people a drink after a treatment.
Well, that was wonderful. I was following along. I could feel it all.
Great.
Yeah, I
Great.
could feel the chi bouncing up and down my legs and all over the place.
Well, I took special attention with the lower part because you're doing new activities with your running.